Alright, so the throwing knife. Should you upgrade it? This one was a tough one, but I would say yes, you should be upgrading the throwing knife. And we're going to start off with human enemies here. It is pretty dang good at fighting them because, well, for one reason, you can put them in a perma-stun if you, I don't really get lucky or just whatever, you just pepper them. You get them in a perma-stun and they are pretty much defenseless against you. You can just keep peppering them with that throwing knife and they won't even be able to fight back. It's kind of similar to the Molotov where they're on that fire animation, but yeah, you got the throwing knife against them. It can interrupt even those red unblockable attacks against enemies and just those regular attacks, making it an excellent combat aid when you're up close and personal fighting them with like a sword, for example. Next, this is just an example of how sometimes they can really just permanently dodge. Like, you can't hit them, even if you're trying so hard throwing multiple knives. It's kind of annoying, but you can deal with it just by going in and swinging on them and hitting them. Here, this is just a showcase of the secret multi-shot, which I figured out. I haven't noticed that until I got it max level and started using throwing knives with the multi-shot skill in the skill tree. Here, what you're seeing is me trying to use it against Volatiles, and it is absolutely garbage against Volatile. I'd say that's the biggest weak point of this knife is on Volatiles. And there's a clip ahead where I use it against a Charger. It's absolutely garbage against that as well. But the main reason is, it's just they have a lot of health, right? Which is to be expected, it's a Volatile. But they're also hard to hit. You know, you put yourself at risk when you're up close and personal using those throwing knives at a closer distance. And it's just, like, especially here, it's too hectic to be focusing on one Volatile throwing a throwing knife at one guy, even with the use of UV bars to help me out. Yeah, and here's this clip with the Chargers. It's like, nothing's really good against these guys. They're super annoying to fight, but luckily you don't run into them. They're not that common, so you don't really have to deal with them that much. And yes, the virals. This thing is amazing against virals, because right there, that was that perma-stun. They're literally defenseless. You just keep on throwing the throwing knives and just kill them with ease, you know? And here we have the Goon, and also just more of that multi-throw. It's super satisfying here. That was really cool. Even at a pretty good range, I was able to hit them and do a lot of damage. This is sped up, but I literally killed this whole Goon just spamming L2 and I killed him. At the end, I ran out of knives though, which is another kind of bad thing about the throwing knife. Is it's not expensive, but you just go through a lot of them. It's 10 scraps and 1 rag for 5 at max level. But yeah, if you're using them a lot, like, you're gonna run out. And that was almost a full stack. I just, whatever, 2 drop kicks and he's dead. But yeah, to sum it all up, I believe you should upgrade your throwing knife. It's a great combat aid, good for single target damage, and you can perma-stun enemies. And even that Goon, like, you can just spam L2, turn your brain off, and just kill him with a knife. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.